How do they, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, where today it's one of those videos that no one really wants to feature in. The reason being, this is the people that are going to be defending big prize money coming up at the upcoming World Championship. So 2 years ago, the following players either qualified and then didn't qualify this year, or earned big money and they're going to need a run. We're going to pick all those out as we go. Now, there are people in this list, or who could be in this list, who qualified a couple of years ago that are not in this event, but I'm going to leave them out. The reason being because they're not effective in terms of the tour card, such as like Mike Kivenhoven, for example, who qualified for this event. He reached the second round, losing out to James Wade, but since then has lost his PDC tour card and then got it back. So this is a new tour card, so he's not actually defending the money that he won a couple of years ago from this event. So even though he's not in it, he's still kind of, it's not going to affect him in any way as such. Unlike the people that was in the first round, £7,500 for these. Jeff Smith lost out to Ross Smith in the Smith Derby, and he's now going to lose his PDC tour card, as is James Wilson, who qualified through the PDPA qualifier. He lost out to Luke Woodhouse, and Darius Labanauskas lost 3-1 to Mike Edgar, who was an alternate for this event. What a difference a couple of years makes when we look at Edgar as being somebody who could be a little bit of a dark horse in this event. He took out Darius Labanauskas, who now goes on to lose his card. And that tends to be the vibe of the World Championships. If you've not qualified for it for a year or so, you kind of going to go lose that card, because the prize money is massive in this event and so significant in terms of how much it weighs up to the rest of the calendar. I will be doing a video on this, how important the World Championship is against the rest of the calendar. If you do want to see that video, make sure you've subscribed, because that will be coming in the next couple of days as we build up towards the World Championship. But as you can see, £15,000 available for the second round, and these players missed out on being able to defend any of that. First one, Adrian Lewis. We've seen recently Adrian Lewis say that he's not got any plans to return back to darts in 2024. I hope we see him soon, but he's going to lose another £15,000 off his ranking, so he's going to continue to drop down. Louis Williams lost out to Gabriel Clements in the second round. He lost 3-0. He will be losing his PDC tour card because he's not going to reach that top 64, the cut-off position. Ryan Meikle lost in round number 2 to Peter Wright. Joe Mernon lost out to Nathan Aspinall after beating the legend that is Paul Lim. 3-2 to the Asp, £15,000 off his rankings. It's back to Q School again for Joe Mernon. Roby John Rodriguez lost in the second round as well, so £15,000 would have been coming off of his order of merit. And there was some deep runs in this event from people that are not in the event now. And it was a run to the fourth round. £35,000. Big drops in prize money. One of them from a guy who did an iconic interview in this event. We've spoke about it here on Edgar TV all the time. It's Martin Clearmaker. Clearmaker lost out in round 4 after a good run, beating John Michael, Simon Whitlock, Joe Cullen, before losing out to James Wade. Now, Clearmaker is a player that has recently gone on record to state that he doesn't have plans to keep hold of his tour card. Personally, I think if it comes round to it and he's still in a position to keep his tour card, I think he'll keep it. I don't think he's going to hand it back. But the reports and the news and everything that's being said out there at the moment suggest that he will be handing back that tour card. However, I do personally think he may keep hold of it and then just maybe not do the full tour. But we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. Alan Suter reached the fourth round. He's been pushing the top 32 for some years now. He's been sort of just in and out of it, but he's going to be well away from it now. He will lose 22% of his prize money because of the £35,000 he cannot defend at the World Championships. He reached the fourth round, beating Diego Portela, Menzel Sulevic, Jose de Souza, before losing out to Callan Ridds. This will mean Alan Suter is going to drop down to around about the mid-40s, maybe even the late 40s, depending on results that happen at the World Championships. The biggest loser of them all in terms of someone who's going to be losing prize money, though, that comes in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals reached by Mervyn King, who will not be taking part in the PDC World Championships this year. £50,000 will come off of his ranking, 38% of his prize money. And there is a chance he could lose this tour card. It's a very unlikely one. FDI's rated it at 0.6%, but Should these results happen, and there are other results that could happen as well, but this is the most likely outcome. Should these results all happen, Mervyn King would lose his PDC Tour card, which would be crazy to think about. Also reaching the quarterfinals, he's a player who's in this event, Callan Ridds, but Callan Ridds doesn't have the form he had a couple of years ago, so it's likely he's not going to be able to defend that £50,000, and he doesn't have a favourable part of the draw. And the big four positions, the big prize money earners, £100,000, £200,000 and £500,000, could see some significant moves as well. One of them, James Wade, has sort of covered himself recently with good runs in the last couple of TV events. It was likely he was going to drop away from the top 16, defending £100,000 here, but covering himself well, showing the old guard can still do it, as did Gary Anderson, who this year, I thought this could be his last World Championship, but he's picked up a sizable amount of prize money through the year. He's playing amazing darts. He's one of the best players in the world, according to stats right now. And I think Gary Anderson could potentially even win the World Championships. Yeah, I said it. Gary Anderson could win the World Championships. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. £100,000 though, he is defending from this event. He starts in round 2, so he keeps £15,000 of it, so £85,000 on the line for Gary Anderson's Order of Merit. Michael Smith, the world number 1, this is where it could open up, and this is where I think that I did mention at the start of this year, I think Michael van Gerwen starts next year as the world number 1. The only person that could stop that now, I think, is Luke Humphries. Michael Smith's defending £200,000, a sizable amount of prize money to come off of his Order of Merit, and is not clear of Van Gerwen by much at the moment. He's only £170,000 ahead of Michael, so losing the 200,000 will put him sort of on par with Humphries and behind MVG. So big opportunity here for those players to stay at number 1. And Peter Wright defending £500,000, £500,000 coming off of Peter Wright's Order of Merit, which could see him drop out of even the top 8. But again, we expect to see him defend a bit of that prize money, but the form he's in suggests that maybe not defending the full £500,000 World Championship prize. So lots of movers in terms of what's going down. If you want to know who's going up, who didn't do well a couple of years ago, who is in form now, who's got an opportunity to crank up those positions, like Luke Humphries, for example. All that will be coming here on Edgar TV very soon, so make sure you are subscribed. Just go down below, it's free to do, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV.
Edgar TV.